How's it going, everybody? What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about brake flares. Lots of times you be driving an old piece of crap car and it bros a brake line. And this stuff, it lasts on your car for about 6 months and then starts to go again. I don't know if it's the stuff I buy or not, but we're going to put some flares on the end of hoses. Now, I'm not the best at this, but I can do it enough that they stay sealed. And I also know the tricks. I've been taught. I guess I'm better than some. I don't know. But anyways, what you want to do is you want to know your size of pipe, size of your tube, whatever it is, your line. This is 3/16. I don't know what this is called. I call it the nipple. It needs to go in the end, and it's going to do the job. We'll talk about it here in a sec, but I like to go one width of the base sticking out of the tool. And you just crimp it in. Now, that's one base there. I don't know if I can make it so you can see it. About the same as the base. You may not be able to see. My camera's crap. I'm sorry about that. But anyways, we'll put that in the top. And then next comes one of these things. Now, what's cool about these is it actually functions as two. There's two types of flares that you can do. There's a double flare and a single flare. Now, the single flare isn't used all the time, very seldomly on new vehicles, but you will run across them, especially if you're into, for example, I have a 2003 Ram. They're in it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's a bubble flare at the brake booster of most vehicles. Okay, so what I've done there is I've crimped all this down, and this is now tight. Nothing wiggles, nothing jiggles. My vise does because it's fastened to wood. But you want to stick this in here. You want to get it finger tight. And we're going to go down. How far down? Well, that's a guessing game. If you're bent underneath a vehicle, this tool's portable, right? So very seldomly do I do it in a vise on a bench. Actually, most often I do it underneath a car. Call me lazy, but I don't have the time generally to undo the whole line or redo the whole line. I just want it fixed and I want to go back to work. So this is what I'm showing you how to do. Now, if we look at it, it's pushed that end down. Everything's backwards. See how it's pushed down? What it's done is it's ballooned it around. It's ballooned it and pushed it into this mold, and it's created a V on the outside ring. That's going to cause it, when you tighten the fitting up, that is going to fit the form of the back of the fitting. That's going to be a nice tight seal there. So the double part of the double flare, we're going to send this vise down. And this V end, this end is V. Notice this is dimpled. What this does is it stops it from collapsing itself on its push down. It keeps the tube around. Now I can already tell that I've kind of botched this one, but I'd trust it to get me out of the bush, which is generally what we're doing. Anyways, engage double flare sequence. So this one's the ginger cup. You want to go slow. You kind of want to watch it. I don't have a good light source to show you. I have so many ideas as to how to show you this, but I just got no ways of doing it yet. So down she goes. I'd say that's about it. A little bit more for good measure. Oh. Now, you generally fly by the seat of your cups. Yeah, it's pretty bad, actually. As far as instructional videos go, the students can easily surpass the teachers. Okay, so uncrimping the vise, because essentially you're done. One point I want to point out is the first thing you do when you're doing any of this stuff, I didn't say it first, it happens to me more often than I'd care to admit. You put the fitting on first, because you can't put the fitting on after you've done the flare. But this is what you're aiming for, that big round outside. What can I put it there? You can kind of see it there. See how it flanged it? And the insides got the flange too. Now that, when pushed inside, I actually have a fitting. When pushed inside of this thing, that V pushes against the V that's in there. And this part is supposed to be on there, but the V inside there matches the outside. It pushes it all together and it creates this pressurizable seal. Now that's all well and dandy, but I said there's two types of flares, and there is. So we're going to get to the second kind. Double flare. It's almost always the flare you're going to use. This flare will work inside a bubble flare, just it's not the right kind. Now a bubble flare works differently, and it's done differently in this. We flip this tool around so it has this flat side. Notice how this side's got the tapered groove. This side's flat. So we stick that in there this way. We put our fitting on the tube. Now I got to cut this off just to show you, because I got a fitting on both ends. I'm going to keep that one. That's the one we just did. This one, ironically enough, is garbage, but I needed to put the fitting on first, and I did not. So that's why this short chunk of line even exists. It was supposed to go in my truck. I broke a brake line one day while I was trying to do something else. And you don't want to worry about dropping the pipe cutters. That's fine. You don't have to worry about that. That's why we wear our safety Crocs, right? Now, when we do this side, we do it differently. I do it the length of this nipple is now going to be set the height, and it's a little longer, and the reason for that is it bubbles out more. Okay, nice and tight. Everything's in there good. We ram this guy on, and I'm just going to drive it home. I'm going to squish this into that basically as far as it's going to go. And all of that's going to do is it's going to push the outside out. The way it curls, it goes from flat to being like round, right? And then when you put the fitting on, it uses spring tension more in a sense, so the backside's being squished onto it, right? If that makes any sense. I don't know why. They just do. Does anybody know why anybody does anything? No. So, again, this is just how I deal with this. This is how I do it. The point of this is to get you out to your car and fix it your damn self instead of paying somebody else to do it, because I haven't spent any money showing you any of this stuff. And some of you are sitting at home wishing that you knew what you were doing. And like you, I look up YouTube videos to see how things are done. Now that's cranked down. You can see how it's bubbling out there. You can kind of see it and how it's all bubbled out at the bottom there. Yeah. So I'm going to take that off. Which will reveal a poorly done, but nothing wrong with it. For instructional purposes, it'll just be just fine. It's all in the action. You wouldn't do anything differently, but it's all in a matter of you want clean, straight, 90 cuts on the end of here. So it's crucial to use the pipe cutter that I dropped. It's crucial to use this. One of the other things is pressure. The amount of pressure you put on it. Sometimes you're going to get like a split. This side was very close to it. You can see there the copper on the inside is actually showing through. You probably can't see it maybe, but I don't know. That is a poor job. It would have got us out of the bush. It would have got the four-wheeler home, if you know what I'm saying. This side, it's not too bad. Again, it would have got us home. It's not the greatest thing in the world. We're looking for functionality, not perfectionist. And if I needed a piece of brake line that was about 3 feet long with one flare on one end and the other on the other, I would use this piece, other than the fact I hadn't put any fittings on it. I don't have any fittings nor a need for it at the moment. But when you do, this tool is like 25 bucks, 30 bucks. They last a lifetime. If you can't steal your old man's, just go buy your own. Your kid will steal it from you one day. And that'll just be that. So yeah, this is all you need. Brake line, just buy it in bulk. It's 30 bucks for like a roll of it. It's 20 feet long. I bought 2 rolls in my lifetime, and I've re-braked all my vehicles twice in their lifetime. It's just worth it, especially if you're tinkering around in your own shop. So anyways, take care, and remember, it ain't broke until you take it apart. See what's actually wrong with it. Till then, it's just not working. All right, take care, guys.